So we're stepping in our Zenku Tadachi, so like front stance, so hip to shoulder width, roughly double hip length. Front knee bent over your toes, back foot as straight as it can be. Majority of your weight forward. Yeah. So like stepping forward in Zenku Tadachi with the oizuki, sort of like that basic punch. The feeling is you're holding that hand back until the end, yeah. Remember, don't keep it still by being stiff. Try and keep it relaxed and then just release it at the end. Forward and punch. When you land, make sure you're in a full showman position, yeah. So hips and shoulders going completely square. So at the moment of punching, make sure you're driving that back leg in, yeah. So you're square. Knee. So like a few basic things that can go wrong. Like that foot turning out, pulling back, leaning forward, pulling that arm back, letting that arm go early. It's like trying to negate these things here, guys. So try and be super aware of that front foot. Allow that front knee to bend, so soften as it goes. And then if it needs to turn out, make sure it turns out at the point of the drive, not beforehand. Yeah? So try and get rid of that telegraph, as we've said earlier. Keep the upper body still by keeping it relaxed. Yeah? Don't stiffen up. And then try and move forward at speed. Stiffness is the death of speed. So try and be relaxed in the upper body and then just let that punch go at the moment of that drive. Yeah, when I'm teaching the kids, I often say make sure the foot and fist land at the same time, which is correct. But what you really need to be thinking about, seniors especially, is making sure that foot and that back leg drive happen at the same time. Yeah. Inch. Okay, and then the final points on this before we start going, say final 2 points on this before we start speeding up. Like your legs do 3 things, yeah? So I want you to think about that initial push, yeah, that back leg driving forward, like you're sprinting, yeah? So make sure you're pushing off that back leg, but at the same time, like I talk about especially in class, like if I squeeze that inner thigh muscle, the entirety of my body starts to go, yeah? So as well as that push, think about the squeeze of that front leg to get you going. And then the final thing your legs does, as we've already discussed, you're pushing, you are pulling, then at the point of completion, you are driving in. Yeah, remember we've spoken about this quite a lot recently. Don't allow this to be stiff, where you end up sort of coming up and over your own leg here. Just allow that knee to relax and then drive. So that's the first point. The second point, and this is mainly for like the downgrades, but low grades, you can think about it as well. Though I've literally just said, keep that hand still until the end. Like we want all parts of our technique to be effective. That is effective, but of course, if I'm just moving forward and holding it back, holding it like that midpoint is ineffective. Yeah, and you can just as easily punch from here, all the way through that movement. So downgrade, perhaps think about that coordination. Yeah, where everything is starting and then finishing together. Oh, yeah. Like Keon, as I've said many a time, yeah, this is our conditioning. Yeah, this is our body weight training. We train long, we train big, we train awkward to develop the muscles so that when it becomes shorter, whether it's competition or something more realistic, we have that muscle memory, we have that muscle mass to be able to do what we need to do. Yeah, so like when you're young, when you're able to do it, to your max. Yeah, it'll pay dividends in the future. And then that front kick, yeah? So those same 4 points as usual. Good knee lift, kick, snap back, and step down. Same as with your Oizuki, and then you're trying to keep that front leg completely still at the start. You're not turning, lifting, pulling, leaning, telegraphing. Just trying and start that immediate movement, kick and step forward. Itch. Even this is a telegraph, yeah? Just lift and in. Knee. So as we already touched on when we're doing it on the spot, yeah, the idea of doing that sit-up, tensing your core, getting that tailbone lift, that helps produce that very fast knee lift, yeah? Then at the same time, you're also going to think about contracting your hamstring, which again is going to help produce that fast lift, but also is going to work towards that fast snap, yeah? With this Kyagi, the power doesn't come from the out, but from the back, yeah? To transfer as much get very scientific in the old age. That's where you say, no, you're not old, so say, it's like to get as much of that kinetic energy, plyometric energy into your opponent as possible. Basically, your hitting part has to be on them for the shortest time as possible. Yeah, the more you go into it, the more it becomes push rather than that transference. Yeah, that's what produces that like crack of the whip. That's what we're trying to produce with this snapping technique. Yeah, right. So, like when he just started, we're going light. But really think about getting that contraction on that hamstring afterwards. Yeah. Itch. Same thing. Yeah. So relaxed in the upper body, trying to keep everything still, and then driving in. This time, as you drive, like we're in our freestyle, our fighting stance, we don't need to worry about keeping that foot flat. Don't need to worry about this heat base so much, as long as we're still getting that full rotation, and this time snapping back here again, as we spoke about, to get that transference of energy, but also to bring that hand back to where it's useful either to attack again or defending ourselves. Okay, guys, so nice and light, try and stay the same height, softening that knee, pushing, pulling, closing, and then driving in to the Oizuki. Hit. As soon as that foot touches, you would hit. Yeah, no land, then punch. So just this way. Yeah, so just a few things here, guys. As we said in Kion, make sure it's the ball of the foot going into the target. Yeah, so I'm not kicking up and missing. Ball of the foot going in. Yeah, not skimming. Certainly not toes going in. When you're not damaging the toes. Ball of the foot going in. As we've said, not with a lean. None of this. Just lift and into the targets. Okay, guys. Joe's going to have that hand up. He's going to stay for the kick. And then you land and punch wherever that hand, where it is. Yeah. One final point. Seen a few of you are stepping and then kicking. Yeah. Again, there is nothing wrong with that, but that's not what we're doing. Yeah. I want you close enough you can just kick. Okay. So try and eliminate any sort of unnecessary movements. Okay. Like I have to punch the hand wherever it is. So if Joe does a very small step back, that's where I've got to hit the hand. If Joe does a long step back, then I've got to reach it, not by leaning, but either by like I can drive off. If I don't need to drive, I can just have that full rotation. If he goes even further back, then I can drive it off that back leg. Yeah? But like hit the hand where it is to what footwork you need to reach it, not with a lean. 4, 4. Bow. Go. On that, the idea of that snap here, guys, it's the difference between pushing someone away and dropping them. Yeah, and seeing, I'm sure we've all been hit by those shots that make you feel, I won't swear, it's kids, but make you feel sick. Yeah, like so. Yeah. But like that's the difference, yeah, where they have that snap, that ability to penetrate, like that's from that snap. Yeah. So not like a touch. You're still going to have some mass behind it. Yeah, but that's the difference. It's easy to push someone away, but normally that won't stop someone. Yeah. Like if you want to work on that stop, try and work on that snap. Last one, so now, go. Yeah. So this time you are punching first. Punch, kick. Yeah. And again, wherever Joe decides to move, that's where you make the distance for the kick. If he stays close, like you've got to kick close. If he goes far, then you need to adapt. Yeah. Again, that doesn't mean you adapt by leaning. Yeah. I may touch, I may reach, but it's going to be ineffective. Yeah. So if Joe does decide to hoof it back, then you have to hoof it in. Yeah. Bow. Both sides, left leg. So, like, maybe think about your distance a little bit. Some of you, like, so as like we're not stepping on that punch, we're just rotating it. So I'm close enough to punch. Some of you are a little bit of this, like a little bit of this. Again, well, I don't want you to do that. You can, of course, be moving that front leg in, but that's not the combination yet. We're just on the spot. On the spot, on the spot, and then immediately. Yeah? So don't be too far away at the start. So that's the first thing, yeah? Second thing is not, and then going in, yeah? The snap of the punch is the start of the kick, yeah? Some of you need to let that leg start to go. I've hit Joe. Joe's ready moving back. I'm continuing that momentum and chasing it down, yeah? You are not stopping, letting Joe get away, and then trying to go after it, yeah? And as we've already touched on, like if Joe goes backwards, some of you are sort of like you've kicked and then like you're trying to jump, it's too late, yeah? Like you should be able to send, I should know if Joe's can start, I can already sort of see it, again, that's a little bit of experience and practice, but I should be able to tell instinctively when I need to start moving in, yeah? But this is too late. Like the flip side of that is if they don't move, like you can still deliver the kick, yeah? As long as you again get this tailbone lift, as long as you get in this contraction and hit it, like it may not be as strong as that full range, it's still gonna do something, yeah? Or like certainly you can start thinking about changing the targets or whatever, but like that short, sharp range kick would still absolutely do something from there, yeah? So if they don't move, again, just work on that. Okay? Work on that ability, work on that control, work on that contraction, work on that snap. Same idea. Yeah. Last one, lights. Let me go fast. Bow. Yeah. So like, probably feels maybe a little more awkward with the seniors, purely because so many of our combinations do have you wait for that landing. Yeah. But of course, like, that's not totally realistic because if I've caught Joe with this kick, like, why would I wait? Yeah? You'd just be wanting to hit when that momentum's going in, like as soon as possible, yeah? Particularly if I've just landed this kick, there's a very good chance his head is coming forward. Like, why would I wait before throwing that technique, yeah? And again, you've got this snap, which is only going to add to the sharpness of that punch, yeah? So try not to wait for that, yeah? Just like when you're throwing it in, you're hitting when your target is there, yeah? That same feeling, you hit your target when it is there. This is one of those ones where if you find yourself coming up, it's really going to slow this technique down, yeah? Again, my thing is I'm chasing, I'm going immediately, so the more I lift, like the slower, like obviously the slower this is going to be, yeah? So you really just want to have, like you're going forward, yeah? You're going straight in, no turn, no lift, no pull, just in and in. Just like that was really good, yeah, guys. And obviously, like when the pad is there, you want to like be hoofing it, yeah, because of course, so there's all of this build up, but like you've got to be able to do that like without showing it, yeah. So still trying to get that contraction, dropping in, kicking off, and try and get that snap, yeah. Hopefully, Dave can like feel a difference between me trying to push and then like snapping off, yeah. You're trying to penetrate pads rather than push, because that will move Dave. But again, I don't want to push it, yeah? I want to try and like get that drop and that snap of that technique, so get that close, get that snap off the targets, and then it zooms back, yeah? Try and get that penetration through the pad, yeah, without this build-up, yeah? Because it may be stronger, it may be bigger, but they're going to see it coming, yeah? Just try and get that lift and in. Okay, just a quick one here. So remember, like if I'm kicking with my right, like obviously your right hip is automatically going in, yeah. But think about that left hip as well, yeah. So everything, it's like a, almost like a triangle, yeah. So rather than thinking that right side's going in a straight line, I'm trying to send both forward, yeah. That feeling closing and then in, yeah. Carry on, guys. Last few minutes. Go, go, go.